This video was produced using generative AI. In the year 1116, King Yejong of Goryeo dispatched Yi Jiaryang as an envoy to the northern Song dynasty. This mission was not driven by an urgent diplomatic crisis, but rather to express gratitude. The Song Emperor Huizong had completed the refinement of court ritual music, known as Daeseong-ak, and bestowed it upon Goryeo as a gift. King Yejong, well aware that Emperor Huizong was a ruler who deeply appreciated art and literature, selected Yi Jiaryang, a man of exceptional talent in poetry and music, as his envoy to properly convey his respect. Yi Jiaryang, from the Incheon Yi clan, was renowned for his literary and musical abilities. At that time, overland routes between Goryeo and the Song dynasty were blocked due to the presence of the Khitan Liao dynasty. As a result, diplomacy and trade were conducted via maritime routes. Departing from Bayongnando, an international port near Gaegyong, Yi Jiaryang and his delegation crossed the Yellow Sea and the East China Sea, reaching Mingzhou in just 21 days with favorable winds. Upon arrival, they stayed at the Goryeo guest house in Ningbo, a facility established by imperial order to accommodate Goryeo envoys. This large complex functioned not only as lodging, but also as a hub for trade and administrative affairs. Ningbo and Hangzhou were among the most economically advanced cities in the Song Dynasty, essentially the economic centers of one of the wealthiest nations in the world at the time. After resting, Yi Jiaryang traveled north along the Grand Canal and then overland to reach Bianliang, the capital of the Song Dynasty. In July of 1116, under the heat of midsummer, the imperial palace of Bianliang was bustling with preparations for a grand banquet to receive the Goryeo envoy. This was no ordinary diplomatic reception, it was the prestigious looming banquet, one of the most elegant and ceremonial events in the Song court. Silk draperies adorned the hall, incense filled the air, musicians performed ritual court music, and officials stood in orderly ranks. For the Goryeo envoy, golden cups, jade vessels, and exquisite delicacies from across the empire were prepared. Remarkably, Emperor Huizong, known for his love of luxury and the arts, held the looming banquet only twice during his reign. One of those occasions was for Yi Jiaryang. Among all foreign envoys, he was the only one to receive such an honor. Yi Jiaryang, though outwardly composed and respectful, could not help but question the emperor's true intentions. Such extraordinary treatment seemed to go beyond mere cultural exchange. During the banquet, Emperor Huizong leaned forward and spoke in a low but clear voice. "I hear that your country borders the Jurchens. Next time, it would be good if you could bring some Jurchen people with you." At the mention of the Jurchens, Yi Jiaryang's expression turned cold. He responded sharply, "The Jurchens may appear human, but their hearts are like those of beasts. They are among the most greedy and crude of all barbarians. It would not be appropriate for them to enter your country." Though respectful in tone, his words carried a clear warning. If you draw close to the Jurchens in order to attack the Khitan, might you not invite even greater trouble? Once the northern cavalry gains strength, their advance will not easily be stopped. The atmosphere in the hall grew tense. Song officials were visibly displeased. Yi Jiaryang's cautious stance was perceived as a challenge to imperial authority. Some within the Song court suspected that Goryeo opposed direct relations between Song and the Jurchens to protect its intermediary trade interests. Indeed, Goryeo played a key role as a middleman, facilitating trade between the Jurchens and the Song dynasty. However, Goryeo's concerns were not merely economic. Allowing the Jurchens free access to Song territory via Goryeo's land and sea routes would pose a serious threat to national security. In fact, Goryeo had already fought a war against the Jurchens just a decade earlier. In 1107, General Yun Guan led a massive campaign against them, initially achieving success and establishing the northeast 9 fortresses. However, Jurchen counterattacks soon reversed the situation, demonstrating their formidable mobility and military strength. Eventually, Goryeo was forced to abandon the newly acquired territory and make peace. Meanwhile, in the north, the Jurchens were rapidly rising. In 1115, their leader Wanyan Aguda declared the founding of the Jin dynasty after defeating the Khitan Liao. Even the mighty Liao could not withstand their advance. Despite Goryeo's warnings, the Song dynasty chose to ally with the Jin through a maritime agreement known as the Alliance of the Sea. This decision proved catastrophic. In 1127, the Jin forces captured Bianliang in what became known as the Jing Kang incident. The Song emperor, along with thousands of royal family members, and officials was taken captive. The Northern Song dynasty collapsed. Goryeo had foreseen the danger the Jurchens, once treated as allies, would return as a far greater threat.